Welcome back to the Lesbian Romantic Podcast. This is Waking Up is Easy, Part 9. Welcome to our 5 p.m. local news broadcast. An unusual and dramatic scene played out at the Quiet Peace Coma Care Center in Windfall today. A 36-year-old officer was hospitalized with eye injuries after being attacked with pepper spray in the center's parking lot. The Windfall Police Department confirms that 2 people were arrested, both of whom are still in custody. For the latest, we go to Windfall, where our local reporter has some puzzling details. Corey, are you still at the scene? I heard there are some new developments. I am, Ted. Still at this highly unusual scene where now dozens of people have gathered in an unexpected, seemingly spontaneous protest. As you can see behind me, people came carrying signs with messages that, at first sight, seem totally unrelated to the attack that occurred earlier today. The signs say, "Let them go," and "Let them all wake up." But none of the protesters were willing to explain to me what this means or why they have come here on this eventful day. I remember having some sense of... what do you even call that feeling? I felt reassured that it wasn't me, you know? Usha was just as vague and infuriating while answering Maya's questions as she was with me. Maybe even more so. Just after the attack on Officer Weiland, and a few hours before the first protesters showed up, which we will talk about soon enough, Maya and I stepped into Usha's room to warn her about the police. If you're thinking it was odd of us to make such a fuss about a routine police interview, I understand. But we felt protective of Usha because we sensed that she was in trouble. How could she not be, right? Her story was very suspect. And yet, as soon as we were actually talking to her, trying to find out if we could help her, Usha's vague and dreamy replies made me want to pull my hair out. Maya too, I could tell. It is hard to help someone who seems oblivious to their troubles. I guess not everyone had the same experience with Usha. Or not everyone saw the vagueness as an issue, I should clarify. Quite the contrary. I think I already told you last time. Usha quickly had a group of fans, and they were very happy with Usha's musings indeed. URL: www.thewordofusha.com. Page title: The first half of the third day of Usha's prophecies. Posted by Hope Eternal 91 and Awake 234. Subtitle: Usha shows us eternity. Text: We are all coming and going all the time. Come and hold my hand for eternity. You have always been here and always will be. If only you would open your eyes to infinity. Commentary. Considered one of Usha's deepest teachings, she again invites us to hold her hand and, through her, to open our eyes to reality as it is. This is a difficult teaching, and later teachings explain it further. For now, please repeat her words in meditation often. Note: the content of this page is verified by a person who was present at Usha's waking. I wasn't there for what is now often called the first half of Usha's third day of revelations. I was there the first time Usha spoke, as you know, and I was also there for what the website calls the second half of Usha's third day of revelations, or prophecies. Don't worry if you're lost. You're not alone. I wish I could leave that website out of the story, but I can't. Please don't visit it. I don't want them to make even more money. It's hard to believe it still exists. The first half of the third day, I swear they make it difficult on purpose, was the conversation Hope and Megan had with Usha on Wednesday morning before the pepper spray attack. The second half was the conversation Maya and I had with Usha after the attack. Usha, how are you today? Usha looked even more radiant than earlier. In the movie, they had the actress who was playing me look all lovey-dovey at Usha at this point. But I can tell you that this was not the case. Not one bit. Is it today? Usha asked, giving us her saintly smile. Maya threw me a confused look. I just shrugged. We don't have much time, Maya continued. That is true. Usha nodded and raised her hand in thought. We have no time. And yet, we have all the time in the world if only we open our eyes to see it, right? Right, Maya repeated and threw me a helpless look. I shrugged again. I mean, she had just told me to shut up and let her take the lead. I was not supposed to interrupt. I was happy not to because I wanted to grab Usha by the shoulders and shake her into her senses. I wouldn't have, of course, but I sure wanted to. Like I said before, there were no lovey-dovey glances then. None. And I did not kiss my hand after she touched it in the morning. But I told you that already, haven't I? Anyway, back to that afternoon. I mean, we don't have much time before the police arrive. Maya tried again. Already? Usha smiled. You knew they were coming? I blurted out. Maya turned to widen her eyes at me. I raised my hand in apology. They always come, Usha said to me, seemingly unperturbed. You've been in contact with the police before? Maya asked, sitting down on the chair next to Usha's bed. You can tell us. We just want to help. We won't share this with anyone. Well, someone shared anyway. Because this whole conversation ended up on that website. It is also in the book, in the movie, and I'm sure you can hear about it in countless videos online. No one ever contacted me to ask about the content of this conversation, by the way. Okay, I don't want to slow down too much. I just wanted to make sure that you understand how every word Usha spoke ended up being published in more ways than one. I was officially no longer the only one obsessed with Usha. I do also want to clarify that, looking back, I am grateful for Usha's words. I still struggle to call them teachings, but that's totally on me. Lots of people became better because of what Usha shared after she woke up. Other people became downright insane. But let's get to our next interaction with the police to pick up speed again, because Officer Grant showed up not long after we walked into Usha's room. He was understandably upset about what had happened to Officer Weiland. I still think he was too focused on Usha that day. It's not like she had done anything to cause any of this. Still, for Officer Grant, Usha was no longer intriguing and a little suspect. He now considered her very suspicious. Do you remember your name, miss? Is the first thing Grant asked Usha after giving me an annoyed look. I guess my presence in the room troubled him. Usha smiled one of her Usha smiles. They named me Usha. But what is your real name? He asked, stepping closer to the bed. Maya got to her feet. Usha? Usha repeated with another blissful smile. Grant looked at me and Maya. Does she remember anything from the accident? No, Maya said. She doesn't remember anything at all. She only talks about... Well. Okay, Usha, do you know Mary Constance. Does that name ring a bell? Is that another one of my names? Usha asked, seemingly delighted. Grant frowned. No, that is the name of a woman who clearly knows who you are and attacked an officer while screaming your name. I don't like what Officer Grant did there. At no point did the pepper spray lady actually call out Usha's name. Technically, she had only screamed that people should go to the one who had woken up. Back to the conversation. For the first time, Usha's face grew solemn. I'm sorry that happened to your beloved friend. He's not my... Grant immediately started to protest, but then stopped himself, throwing a frustrated look at Maya and me again. I think Maya and I just gave him a forced, polite smile. Grant took a breath and then focused on Usha once more. Does the name Ellie Harkin ring a bell? That's the other person involved in the attack. Right, I'm sorry to interrupt the flow of the conversation again, but for the second time, Grant did not present the facts here. Ellie Harkin was not involved in the attack at all. She had only refused to take her crazy goggles off, which was her right, I guess. Luckily, Grant soon gave up too. Usha's answers to his questions were consistently evasive. I remember nearly laughing out loud at one point. When you are not the one asking the questions, Usha's ability to deflect is impressive. Either way, the important thing to know is that no one found out who Usha was or why she had ended up in a coma, and not for a lack of trying. She seemed not to remember a thing. That, or she was a master at not sharing what she wanted kept secret. Don't forget, Maya and I had other things on our minds. We still had to deal with the harassment that was disrupting our lives. My old life had vanished overnight, taking all the peace and quiet with it. Personally, I think it's a miracle that I was not hiding under my desk all day. This might seem odd to you now, but after Officer Grant got nothing out of Usha, I just gave up and resigned myself to not knowing who Usha was for a while. Instead, I focused on getting back some control over my life, although I couldn't do much about what was happening to me. I don't think I asked Usha about her real identity again until the media broke the story much later. Page title: The second half of the third day of Usha's prophecies. Posted by Anonymous 987, Hope Eternal 91, and Awake 234. Subtitle: Usha predicts persecution. Text: They always come when you wake, demanding a name to keep you bound, tied up to a past and a future they create. They always come for what you have found. Commentary. This is an abbreviated version of Usha's teachings from Day 3. Her tone changes dramatically in this revelation because Usha foresees what is about to happen to her. She knows that an oppressive system never tolerates dissenting voices. For the full version of this day's teachings, including Usha's response to the police's first acts of persecution, please become a paying member of the Usha's Word website by clicking here. What a surprise, right? As soon as that website became popular, they added a paying member section. Who doesn't these days? I keep telling Usha she should sue them. She never will, of course. Gosh, we're already at the end of our time together, and I haven't even gotten to the protesters and that first reporter showing up. When a story is as complex as this one, it's tempting to simplify it. That's what the book did, and that's what the movie did, but 10 times over. I don't want to fall into the same trap. I feel tied to the movie and the book because I need to clarify their inaccuracies every step of the way. This is my one chance to share the full story. This is my life we're talking about. And Usha's. And Audrey's. Hell, in a way, I'm even doing this for Ellie Harkin. We all got swallowed whole by the monster that is our present-day culture. Okay, right. Got a bit heavy-handed there, but yeah, it is true. If things seem a little all over the place, just be patient with me while I take you on this crazy roller coaster that we were on. Because we all came out as different people in the end. I think, or hope, that if you take the time to listen to what really happened, maybe you too might look at things a little differently. Okay, that's it for this one. Was that okay? I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Yeah, you did great. Very authentic. I love that about you. Enough of a cliffhanger, you think? I really suck at the storytelling thing, you know? No, it was great. Except maybe next time, definitely get to Arthur's mom showing up. Or maybe share when you first realized you had feelings for Usha. That's what people are waiting for. What? But I told you. I thought we agreed. No, totally. We did agree that we would do things differently. I'm just saying what I hear from listener feedback now that we've started publishing. Hey, you could also tell them why Usha had to leave Quiet Peace. Yeah, sure. Right. This was part 9 of Waking Up is Easy. If you'd like to listen to part 10, you've got a few options. You can join my Patreon. There's a lower tier available right now because I'm not back fully up to speed. You can now become a theater friend. So if that interests you and you want to be able to listen to part 10, part 11, 12, 13, and soon 15, 14, forgot 14, part 14 and soon 15, you can go sign up. You can cancel at any time, but I would really appreciate your support to keep this podcast going. So if you are eager to listen to the rest of the available episodes, please consider becoming a theater friend today at patreon.com/lesbianromantic. The other option is to wait a little longer. You can become a free member on Patreon, and I usually do post the next episode a little bit earlier there. And of course, your last option is to stay on this free feed supported by fellow romantics around the world who help me keep this going, who make it possible for me to share these episodes with you for free. So thank you to all the fellow romantics around the world for their support and their help. Again, if you too would like to become a theater friend or a theater member, even though I can't really produce all the perks just yet, please go to patreon.com/lesbianromantic. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here and giving this podcast another listen after all this time. So thank you. It always means so much to me that you choose to spend your time here with this podcast. So thank you, and I will see you soon.